Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. Visit triplejguam.com.
You know, I've definitely noticed since I've been back to Guam. I'm also a runner, not a professional runner, but I do love to run, and I've noticed that running has really taken off, and maybe just fitness in general in Guam. I mean, every weekend there are several 5Ks, and people are taking the time to get active. And so, how do you feel that the running culture has kind of transformed from when you were growing up here to where it is today?
Yeah, I definitely say I think the running culture has always been alive on Guam, but I think it's a lot more supported by different sponsors. There's a lot more awareness by everybody on the island. So I think that there's always been that core group of like the Guam Running Club, people that have loved it, but now that love is expanding and spreading to everyone. And I just love it. I'm so encouraged. I'm a health teacher and coach, so I'm always promoting that a healthy, active lifestyle just benefits you more than just your physical body, just mentally, and you build a community. And so I think for me it's encouraging coming back to Guam because you go show up at a race and you get to see everybody, you know, there's all these people there, people are encouraging each other. So I've seen a lot more international runners coming to Guam now too, I think because of the GIM and the advertising there. And so it's fun to see Guam become this well-known place even globally for running.
Definitely, I can understand like when you say that the 5K, sometimes it's not even about raising money or getting fit. People are just there because it's a huge social event.
Exactly.
Everyone you know is going to be there, especially I'm in some running clubs and we have our little chat groups and everyone's talking about which 5K they're going to go to this week, which one that week. But you know, with a lot of people getting more involved in running, you know, especially with events like GIM, people running their first half marathons or full marathons. And speaking of your running clinic, you know, what are some tips that local runners should know to get their form right or avoid injury?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's something that both Charlie and I are trying to emphasize through these clinics is you kind of have to have a long-term goal. So I think the temptation could sometimes be on Guam, there's so many opportunities to race that you could say, oh, I'm going to race every weekend. I'm going to try to do every race. I'm going to try to beat my time every single time. But it's not realistic to maintain, you know, every 7 days that you're pushing your body to the max and expecting to get faster. You almost have to decide, okay, which races in this year or 2-year cycle do I really want to focus on? And then you kind of build back from that race in a training plan that allows you to prevent injury. So say there's different phases you can go through, and that's something we talk about in the clinics. And I think that really helps you because then you get to see this big result. And so I think that people should be encouraged to participate in the Guam running events as much as possible and do all of them, but maybe just look at the calendar and say, okay, these are the ones I really want to do well at, mark them down, and then make a plan from there.
Okay, so overextending yourself, overrunning can be a problem, can cause injury.
Yes, rest is huge. I had to learn that the hard way. I used to think I just have to run hard every single time I go out, and then I got injured, and then I realized when I started incorporating these principles in and cross training and strength training and swimming and taking rest days, I actually got faster. I run faster in a race after doing that than when I just tried to go hard every day.
Okay, so you know, not incorporating rest days, cross training to strengthen other parts of your body. And you know, people mention running form a lot. I mean, can you run the wrong way?
Yeah, I think that every person naturally can have that natural form, but I think that sometimes we have practices in our daily lives that we learned some bad form and just continued to do it, or we sit at a desk all day and we're slunched over, and so that your muscles get tight and that affects your form. So I do think that even though some people think, oh, it's running, just go out and run, you do have to practice good form. And a big thing I learned through track and field and even through soccer is you have to warm up those specific muscle groups. So Charlie and I in our running clinics focus a lot about running drills and forms and things you can think about to be efficient so that your energy isn't wasted when you run.
Okay, and so you mentioned that you're here, the training is affiliated with the Guam Runners Club.
Yes.
So, you know, if people are aspiring runners, maybe they're not trying to be an Olympic athlete, but they just want to get fit, or, you know, maybe run their first marathon or is the Guam Runners Club a good place to start?
Definitely. So the Guam Running Club has events throughout the year, and they're really structured well because they build up to like the Guam Half a Marathon or the different marathons. So they have different distances that you can run, and there's the calendar that you can look up on there, and just a great community of really experienced runners. So I think even someone that's starting out, getting plugged in with the Guam Running Club, they could meet other people that are at a similar place, or could give them advice, or even become training partners for them.
Okay, and so you've run in a lot of different places. You've run some big races. What are coming from Guam and building your running career here? What are some of the differences with running in Guam compared to other places, or what are some of the things that runners in Guam are faced with?
Okay, yeah. Well, obviously the heat. It's pretty humid and hot here. I actually miss it. When I get back here, it's kind of comforting. I like it, but I do think that you have to acclimate, to that, and choosing strategic times to run. That's why a lot of the races start really early in the morning. But I think something I've learned through Guam is that one of the best parts of it is that there can be these consistent races, and they're cheap. So you can get a lot of exposure to the sport in a community that you can't get other places where races are super expensive, or you have to drive really far or travel. But then also you don't have necessarily all the diversity of terrain and race locations here, if that makes sense. So I know some people could think, oh, it gets a little monotonous, but for me, actually, this has been my favorite place to race. I got to do a run in California through the Avenue of the Giants and the trees, and it was beautiful, and I loved it, but I was like, there's nothing that quite compares to Guam's community of runners, and even getting to say, oh, I could do the same race, the same course every year and see how I've improved, if that makes sense.
Okay, so we're just about to finish up our cruising here. Just to wrap it up, what are your hopes for not only your future, any future plans to continue your running career, and what is your hope for running in Guam, or the Olympics, the future of athletes in Guam?
Yeah, I think for me, I still love to run. I have goals to continue to compete. I think the last couple years I've shifted my focus from being a competitive athlete to more of a coach, and getting to see younger athletes realize their dreams. And I still continue to love to train and do that, and so I'll always pursue that. It's my lifestyle. But I think what I've just learned is that if you can give other people the tools to find the joy of running, to find that it just goes beyond the physical, that it can be this stress relief or this way to set goals for yourself. I think that's the biggest thing I would say to athletes on Guam is set a goal for yourself, stick to it, and see how running can also help you be resilient in other places of your life. I've found that sometimes I look back on this hard race or thing I did to train for it, and when something else is hard on my life, I think, okay, I can overcome this too. So I would just say, find a community, set a goal, and just really enjoy the experience.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. It was great to meet
nice
you.
To meet
Thanks
you
for
too.
cruising with us. And don't forget, you can watch the Olympics on KUAM TV8 all throughout August.
Triple J says yes! Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes! Visit triplejguam.com.